I am live. Hey, champions! Joey always had to remind me to do that. Hey, Steve-O, thank you for joining us. Yeah, this is going to be a good episode. There's a lot of things to talk about. Our viewership's a little bit lower than it normally is, so remember to share or get people come watch the show.
Get people come watch.
Yeah. Where is everybody? No, this is definitely something that we need to work a little bit harder on. Is like, just getting more information out there, giving people more time to be aware that we're doing these live streams. But yeah, share and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Yay! Alright, it's good to be back. It's definitely an interesting thing trying to cross the border right now with COVID going on.
Interesting.
How's that?
Yeah. It was not as intense as I was expecting it to be, but the lines were very, very long. So
just slow? Okay.
Yeah, it was very slow. I missed my flight to going to Reno, like the layover it was a mess, and it was weird. And then the COVID tests are a lot more expensive than I thought they would be, so that was just unpleasant. But all things considered, I got there. It was fun. I got to meet Joey for the first time. Met a lot of people for the first time. So Rob Gruber, who's the owner of Good Time Games in BC. Yeah. And then Jacob from Final Round in, I want to say, South Carolina. Or I'm not overly familiar with the states. But we had a lot of people who just came to the booth to just hang out. Like they'd do the lap, and then the booth would be like the place that they come after they've done a lap, and there'd be a few of them that would come. Yeah, exactly. They'll go through the binder. I brought all my the museum stuff that I normally bring for the championship. I had all that there, which was interesting. So I had all my booster boxes, right? And I was worried about...
It's dangerous.
Yeah. I was worried about them getting damaged in transit or in checked bags or something like that. Luckily, the only box that did get damaged, I got one box that got damaged, which was the J2 reprint. So we got 2 copies of those samples. One of them that Kyle opened up in the stream, and the other one I was going to hold on to, so I could be like, oh, I got one of the sample copies, and it just got torn to pieces. It's actually taped together.
Oh no!
Sitting on that shelf, I had to tape it all together because it's just falling apart.
That's where you need like one of those like foam, airplane safe, waterproof cases where all the foam is cut out exactly. Each one fits in, and then there's the thumb locks. You have to put both. You need 2 identifications.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Definitely unfortunate. I want to open up that box because the... did you watch the box opening that Kyle did?
I didn't watch anything. No. You know, I got all my news from Jeff Pacito. He knew what was going on.
Yeah,
he called it every time.
Calling it every time.
Like, why do I need to watch the real thing when I can just watch the preview from Jeff Pacito?
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest. I skipped through the box opening till every time I saw a borderless card, and then I would go back 10 seconds and watch the borderless card opening.
Yeah. So the first one he hit was the Substrike, which looked nice, but it just like it didn't show how awesome they are. And then I don't remember his second one, but his third one was the
Necro. Wasn't it?
Necro,
at the
and
end,
that looks so pretty. So it was a good box. I was very, very happy about that. All right. We had a bunch of announcements made during Gamma.
Yeah.
Want to break these down a little bit? I'd love to get your feedback on it because I don't think I've talked to either of you very much about some of those announcements. And some of them, we had just found the information out while at Gamma, just like an hour or 2 before doing the videos. So
fresh announcements.
I want to start with the overwraps, getting the Haunted Castle Gaming onto for J2 reprint. Like we had just found that out an hour before we filmed that. So what was your reactions to that?
I'll be honest. For me, it was cool, but it wasn't like it wasn't like big excitement. It's like cool overwraps.
I mean, yeah, it's something that I rip off. The first thing I rip off when I get a box. So, I mean, I think I understand the reasoning why it is important, because I think people look for some of that, right? Because of resealing or all these other things that could happen or possibly happen down the road. Having that official logo on it gives it an authenticity to it, right?
Yeah. So the thing is, I personally, for the longest time, did not care about that kind of stuff. Okay. But when I saw my own company's logo on there, I was like, oh, this makes me feel so happy. It's like, yeah, my product's all grown up. It has a name. So there was definitely...
Sherlock is calling out the next thing you need. Now you need case tape.
Oh, yeah.
Case tape, so your name's on the case sticker.
I like your face on the sticker, so when I take my X-Acto knife, I have to like decide which part of...
You do have this type of tape.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. See?
Which is
that's
for the
tape.
case. Actually, something I want to look into is the little holographic sticker that you put onto the booster boxes so that you know if the box has been opened.
Right.
That's something I want to look into. But it's always one step at a time, right? Let's see how things kind of grow. What's this one? Once Genesis makes the big times, we'll be honored with counterfeits. Yeah.
Good luck with making alpha counterfeits.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so there are, I don't know, there's just something about seeing that, and then just the idea that it's in, right? Like, that it's actually made its way to the factory. I didn't know when it was going to get there, and the fact that it got there early enough to put it on G2, that's kind of cool. So now there's going to be a very obvious difference between G2 first print and G2 reprint. People were asking me about that. No, we got proof. Sorry, I'm just a little cold. That's the sweater.
Okay.
And the
now, strange question. Maybe not the right question for the stream, but we have enough of that for the other two things coming,
yes,
right?
Yeah. We have enough of that for, like,
and then
quite a
few
few
sets. No, we just did it for J2 reprint.
Yeah, no.
Just J2 reprint.
That was just... That's for a few sets. We're good. Yeah, we're good for a while. All right, so the next thing that Shockwave points out, MNT. That was another big announcement we made. I know, Alex, you knew about that. Yeah, you knew about that ahead of time. Will, that was new to you.
Well, I had shown some pictures of a certain card that got graded.
Yes.
Like now,
that's different than what they got called out.
Yeah.
Okay. Still,
yes.
That person went and did that, and now that card is no longer able to be. It's no longer purchasable in my books.
you were never gonna buy that.
It's now not. It's now out of my reach, officially. Anyways, next time Sid's not on stream, we'll have a long chat about the long backstory behind how that card came to be and where it ended up and how sad Will is about it. But yeah, I don't know.
The stream will just be called The Story of Will.
The sad story of Will. Yeah, there we go. How he was so slow to make a decision that he lost out on everything. I don't know. I've never had anything graded before, but
so I haven't either. But when at where is it? It's on my desk somewhere. While we were at Gamma, I got my first graded card because there was a grading company there, and they're just handing out 9.5 graded cards. And I was like, okay, what is this? What did you
I hope it's a business card inside the
It's a 9.5 business card.
That would be awesome. It was, is it
a 1991 hockey card by Score.
Yeah.
Lightning
Bolt, nice.
Yeah, the full art one. So, like, there is something that's kind of nice about holding this that I never quite experienced before.
How does it shuffle feel?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, I'm just like...
No shuffle feel? No.
So, it is kind of... That's the part that makes me sad about it. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but, like, I need cards to play with. So, still kind of on the fence about that, but I do understand the appeal of it. I always have, but it's not the thing that I crave when it comes to it. But the cool thing is MNT wanting to sit down and learn about our entire product, like learn why alpha, there's different finishes on different type of alpha prints, or why the promos look the way they do. What was the printing process for beta, J, and Rays? And like the nice part is we have documentation on all those processes, so we can talk to them and they can have a better understanding of how the product looks.
And they're in Toronto as well, right?
They're in Ontario.
Ontario. Okay, not Toronto, but Ontario.
They don't like people knowing where they are.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But it's...
So what is the process? Did they give you like do you have to like contact them to get like a special box that they ship to you or whatever, or do you just send?
So what we're working towards, and especially the idea here is it's just going to be a lot of conversations. It's going to be a lot of sit downs and going through the product, sending them samples of every single product, and showing them details of different things.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the really cool part about it. More than anything, this will turn MNT into the source of like they actually know what Genesis is when it comes to grading compared to other people who are just gonna grade it like any other card. So.
Will, were you asking what was the process that Sid's going to be doing, or what's your process to getting a card graded?
More, well, kind of both actually. But now that you mentioned it, I was sort of more looking at like, let's say I wanted to get something graded. Like I have some alpha cards, right? But to me, throwing the alpha cards into a envelope and then mailing it to a company in some location, hoping that they take them, put them in hard plastic and ship them back to me, sounds like daunting and a little bit of like, I've already had a couple shipments of things that I've sent to people. Now they were going overseas and they've got lost, but I don't know. I just not sure I want to send my one of pre-alpha card or whatever to get graded when I don't know where. There's a lot of things happening in between that process. So it's not like I can just go up and say, here I am, I want these 5 cards graded. I'll sit in the waiting room and wait.
I can explain the short process that I know. I know that people can ship them out. That's not anything I've done, but so usually you go through one of their representatives, which is usually a local game store, and that local game store literally drives them over to them and picks up the other batch that they have at that time.
So that's a little different. Okay.
Yeah, that would be a lot better. I was thinking about it too. I'm like, man, like I ship a lot of stuff because of Patreon.
Right.
And in all the years I've been doing Patreon, I've lost like maybe 1 or 2 letters here and there. I can think of 2 off the top of my head that I've lost, but it's still like the fear's there, right? It's
it's a good fear to have. I'll tell a story, a Dragon World story, as we know. A person sent a sports card out graded. Dragon World picked it up, but the guy was lazy, didn't want to pick it up, so he asked us to mail it. He set up the whole mailing thing. He put the insurance on it. He said the insurance was $200. That's how much the card was worth. It got lost in the mail, and he's like, "That's a $2,000 card." And we're like, "Well, the insurance is going to give you $200. Why'd you put it at $200?" And he went, "Well, it's cheaper to ship it that way."
Yeah, I've just heard. I haven't had it happen to me personally, but I've heard of like because of the craze right now and the exposure of TCGs and collective card games, right? Like some of these companies get known, right? So if you were to put like an envelope or a card size envelope to say like Beckett or whatever, right? Like someone picking it up could be like, oh, this might be worth a bunch of money, right, or whatever, but. I don't know. It's just there's just so much in between. But if it's
corrupted postal system, right, Will?
Yeah, the postal system. But if it's through a local game store, that's something I could definitely get behind too. So, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't have anything graded. But now that it's an option, I might have to see.
Yeah. So it looks like
I'm gonna make a prediction on Will's first graded card. Okay. It's going to be
7.5.
No, not the rating. I'm saying the card you're gonna send out. You're gonna wait till Origins comes out, and you're gonna send out a card with your name on it.
Your hollow, the foil version.
Yeah, foil version. Might as well go to the whole. You know what? Go even farther. You're gonna hunt down the foil epic from the Kickstarter box toppers.
You know, we've had this conversation. If I ever start asking for foils, I give you the right to cancel my bank account and my credit cards, everything. I'm done. No more foils. Speaking of foils,
I need to give a shout out to my at least my niece is watching, Tisha.
Nice.
So like I'm actually wearing one of the pins that they made for me. It's my J Lara pin.
J Lara pin, nice.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of foils, the anniversary one.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited. We're supposed to get the post for that up on Monday, but I think because of flying and everything, we haven't finalized everything. But it should go up this week, and then starting next month, the organized play kits will start having the anniversary promos in them. They look nice. I like them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because there's one anniversary per organized play kit.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, we got to create Chase. This is the thing everyone's been asking for, right? Right?
Boy.
This has been such a demand for Chase, so we're putting it in. You got to go.
Just trying to figure out now. Okay, so if I show up to one organized play a month, if I win, there's still no guarantee there, but I might have to jump on some other of these online ones.
Yeah, well, we gotta get people playing, right? And yeah, they look really nice. I don't have them nearby me. My office is still a bit of a mess with a bunch of stuff from Gamma sitting around, but yeah, they look really cool. I like them.
Yeah, the story behind them too is really good, right? So
yeah,
I like that.
Like the whole entire point every year for the anniversary promos was always just to pick something that it was more sentimental value than anything. So like the 1 year anniversary was the Vampire Kiss.
Vampire Kiss.
And we had so we didn't have anything for the 2 year anniversary because that was our first championship. But in a way
you had those scorpions and
the scorpions,
angels,
because the angel was always that championship promo and the scorpions were thrown in. And then you got for the 3 year you had the original Arthur champions made with the new template,
and the art foils, right? The art only foils. Wasn't that part of that set too, or no?
They weren't the actual anniversary.
Okay, right. They don't have an anniversary on them yet.
And then this year, and this is the way I'm gonna stay involved with the game. I will pick the anniversary promos. That'll be my job. The rest of it is gonna get more and more handed off to Alex.
He says that now till next year, and he forgets about it, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, you gotta pick the anniversary promo."
Yeah, I'll be like, "Alex, pick the anniversary promo."
I figured out my first grading card. No Man's Land.
Okay.
No Man's Land.
No Man's Land.
I don't have to worry about shuffling that one ever.
Nay. Yeah. All right, and then the last big announcement we had was the circuits.
Yes. Throwing some money around.
Yeah.
Kickstarter money.
That was the point of it. I'm excited about the circuits. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. It'll be good to get people kind of geared up towards some sort of gameplay. So our first one announced, but not necessarily going to be the first one we do. We have other ones that we have planned, and we just need to make sure once they're locked in, then we can announce them. But the first one we've locked in officially was for Origins. So that one's going to be really cool because Origins as a convention is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's a big one, right? For a lot of our area of the market, right? So
yeah. So still working on, our goal is to do 3 in Canada, 2 in the US, and 2 in Europe. So still locking in a lot of those ones. They're kind of in the final bits of the conversations for a lot of them. But yeah.
So do you have any idea of like potential numbers for those, or not really?
We are limiting most of them down to just 50 players.
Okay.
mainly because of seating capacity and then also
Right.
time, right? Like,
Yes.
how long would a 50-person tournament take? It's at
Well,
least
roughly
5
the
to 6
championship, right?
Yeah,
Championship
right.
was roughly that was roughly 50-ish, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
a few more.
So 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
That's a long time, especially while in a convention. Where it's like, oh, there's other things I want to do. Now I'm just in the middle of this tournament. So that's why I like it at Origins, because Origins is what it's a 4 or 5 day convention, right?
Wednesday to Friday. Yeah, it starts on Wednesday, right? Or
Yeah.
at least it says it starts on Wednesday, but
So that's kind of the nice part, is that it's long enough that if you spend one day doing that, you can still go off and check out a bunch of other things on the other days, right? Yeah. I've never played a big tournament at a convention. Have either of you?
No, not a big, nothing like huge. I would more likely just do a side event.
Yeah.
Never done a big one. I've seen
well, I
them done.
remember what was it? Well, at EGLX they used to do like they used to have a side room or whatever, right? And they would have like, or the fan expo, they would have like a side ex. They'd be like tournaments run on their own room, right? Everything's sort of set up there, and you walk in, it's like a big room, and all the right, there could be 2 or 3 different tournaments going on at the same time because they had these long row tables and stuff. So, but yeah, I've never actually participated at a convention.
I know at PAX I did some stuff for Magic, and I did some of those. Like, they had a thing that was just find someone, play against them, report the winnings. If you won, you got 2 random cards, and if you lost, you got 1 random card, and you just kept on playing people. So it's just a pop and play. I like that. I thought that was a lot of fun, because then I didn't have to be committed for hours at a single place. But yeah, I think the circuits are gonna be really great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited for it. Do we? I guess we're only the only ones announced so far is the Origins one.
Yeah, hoping that by the end of this week we'll have more details on particular one that I'm looking at. Yeah, they'll be coming out very soon. It's hard because it's like in the back of my mind there's all the stuff I want to say, and it's like but I can't yet. I want to say it, but I can't. Trust me, I'm working very hard on this. Well, I do work.
Why is Alex laughing at that?
Sometimes the team doesn't believe me when I say
Let's
I'm
dive
working.
into that more.
I get that a lot. Where it's like, I jump into a meeting and they're like, what have you been doing? I'm like, working. They're like, you don't work. Like, I do. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of the recaps from stuff from Gamma. Hope.
Well, we didn't even talk about the pop-up champions, the collector boxes.
Yes.
All the important stuff. You've forgotten the Jeff cards? Is this all the Jeff thing? All right.
Well, I drown out Jeff a lot.
So Carl, he actually does that, where he takes a little peg thing and then puts his champion in it and walks around the board with it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, every time he does that, though, I always ask him which way is he pointing.
Yeah.
Well, if you take the double-sided champions, right? One will have only awareness on one side.
Exactly. Jeff says guessed it all right, and he had to cover up.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff. Sure.
Yeah, there's definitely every now and then I get these things, how Facebook shows you like, 9 years ago or stuff like that, and they show you photos that you posted or things that you've posted, and one of the ones I have is me, Lionel, and I think Lincoln are sitting down to playtest Genesis, and we're using Ninja Turtles as our champions.
Wow.
And it's just awesome. You got these toys of Ninja Turtles walking around the board, and it's the new Ninja Turtles, the Michael Bay one. Yeah, that's great.
Oh.
We're getting serious. Cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to know more about from Gamma?
Who's your favorite person you talk to? Boom.
Ooh.
Joey is watching, by the way, I think. So.
Yeah.
Careful what you say.
There was definitely a lot of really so for. I know I said it in videos, and I should repeat it. Like Joey killed it. Like he came into this very professional, very like, okay, we have a goal, let's do it. And I think as he started talking to a lot of the stores and started actually having conversations with how the LGSs perceive TCGs, his position on Genesis as a whole just started shifting. And all of a sudden, he was like, yeah, we are actually unique in this space. We come at it with like a very genuine, we just want the LGS to succeed, and this is how we're going to help them succeed. And I think that was really cool. Kyle, who was his friend who came to help with the booth, he first played Genesis, I think, the night they landed, the Sunday in Reno, and he just fell in love with it. He was like, this is awesome. This is going to be perfect for my store. They started playing it a lot, and then he started doing demos at the booth. I did have to correct him a few times in some of the rules.
It happens. It happens.
And then we started playing a few games. He started seeing some of the dynamics of it. And then, like, we had one round where he bashed me down a lot with a bunch of summons. And I just turned around playing Malik. I, like, stacked Inferno Pits. And then Rampage Toss, but then stacked the tosses. And tossed them into a bunch of Inferno Pits. It's like, that was awesome. I'm like, yep, yeah. That's how this game works. So once he started manipulating the stack, he really, really started enjoying it. And then doing the box opening, he loved it. I had a lot of fun meeting Jacob and Rob, because these are two LGSs that have been supporting us for a very long time.
Nice.
Love the game and are just like, they're there fully. There was another LGS that I met, which was Tucson Games and Gadgets, the store manager there. And the guy loves the game so much, he got the 3-year coin, and he carries with him everywhere he goes. Like, it's in his wallet all the time. So I was like, come to the booth, I'll upgrade you to a 4-year coin.
You have to give me your 3-year coin to get your 4.
He was so excited. Like, he came the moment the hall's open. He came to the booth. He's like, I need my coin.
Hey, here you got coins.
So it was cool. We were giving away the Exert coins from the championship. People really love those. We were giving away some of the 4-year coins. So that was, I think people just loved it altogether. But I don't know. It was really cool seeing how we had very loyal partners, very loyal fans who wanted to come and see the booth. But I spent a lot of time talking to Jacob. He would just always come by the booth and then hang out for like 10-15 minutes and then go do a round and then come back. It was a lot of fun. It was also interesting being around so many people. I haven't done that in a while.
It's true. Yeah.
It was a lot.
All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Right. What do we got next? Product stuff?
Sure.
Yeah. So people have been asking where we're at when it comes to J2, dates for Origins, and promos coming up for Patreon. So J2, I think I've made announcements in different places, but we're kind of in a last leg of it. And that's what we're showing off at Gamma, was that the boxes are being made. So right now they're making the boxes, they're putting the overwraps on it, and then they need to ship it to our distribution. The only reason why we can't give a final date is mainly because we don't know how long it's going to take to cross customs. Okay. That's kind of the thing that's holding us back the most from being able to say that final date. But once it crosses customs, then we'll be able to tell everyone, okay, this is what we're moving forward with J2. I'm really excited. I think that's going to be a great product to hit the shelf and get people playing again.
And that's going, I know there was a fan looking from the UK. Like, is that, when you say crossing customs, is that going to the US or is that going to overseas distribution as well?
So that's going to be going to US, where we have our distribution center, who then redistributes it to all the distributors. So it goes from Canada to the US. From there, it goes to the other distributors in US, into Canada, like back into Canada and then over into Europe. So
Okay.
this is gonna be a good, healthy restock. Really excited
Of everything.
to get people playing again.
Nice.
Yeah.
It seems like it's good timing too. I know, like here in Ontario, things are starting to relax a little bit. Things are starting to pick up back to our pre-COVID times, but yeah. So.
So as for Origins, I mean, I got something that was kind of cool.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I just got this. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember, what did the Kickstarter say for Origins? Q2?
Proofs for the booster pack wrappers.
Ah.
Who's on them? Who is it?
There you go. Look close again.
Okay.
Yeah, they look very pretty. I like them. They're a little bit smaller than their final version because these are just the proofs. But yeah, moving forward with that for sure. But as for Patreon promos, I guess we never showed people what April's Patreon promo is going to be.
Oh, we didn't, did we?
That wasn't a thing.
Should we show them? You want to see the promo?
I mean, it's almost the end of March. I was supposed to show it at the beginning of March. Let me open this.
Yeah, I'll look at a promo.
Yeah.
So you'll look at a promo, will you now, Will?
What do you think it is?
Wait, I don't actually have the stream. I can't see anything. Remember?
That's so true. I'm not even gonna be putting it up on stream. Oh my goodness! I'm just gonna be putting it up onto my desktop. What do you think it is? You're not. It's a fun one.
There were some hints, wasn't there?
There was some hints. Yeah, we did bring it.
There wasn't something about a fan favorite card or something?
Yeah.
And then.
So, Steve-O mentions we're still waiting on March Patreon. Yes, I mentioned that in combining March and April, so everyone will get both months in one go. So you'll be getting the March mind reading and then this one.
Right, that's because of the shortage or whatever, or the printing didn't show up in time, right?
Yeah. The promos didn't come in
time. Okay, well, it's got to be a rabbit of some sort. Am I right? With a rabbit? It is a rabbit.
So
lion mane rabbit? No. Decoy rabbit.
Decoy rabbit. So we worked with Jeff Pacito to do an art on the decoy rabbit, where instead of Fong holding up a rabbit, it's me holding up a rabbit.
Oh,
and the
no.
rabbit's also bald.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah. It looks awesome. I love it.
You had me at work with Jeff.
He always does awesome alt art promos.
That's exciting. This is a playable card?
Yes, yeah, of course. We don't give cards that aren't playable. I've been definitely hesitant on the idea of me being inside the game. I thought that was kind of weird, but then I don't know. It just seemed like such a funny idea. Jeff, I think someone did have the idea that instead of having Rain on the other side looking for me, it should be Alex. That would have been pretty good. But I think what's even better now is that at some point, Mac Attack and she can come in with her cosplay of Rain, and then we just need to find a little field, and I'll get like a stuffed toy rabbit, and we could like take a photo of us actually doing the thing for Decoy Rabbit. It'd be awesome.
Me and Will just shaking our head.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
And he'll pop into a Zoom call and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what Patreon promos there should be for May and June. I mean, if people got suggestions, if you're Patreon members, give your suggestions. I'd love to know. But
suggestions, spoiler cards, origin cards. Ooh, Alex didn't say no.
I'm not saying
Alex
no.
did not say no. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, ideas are ideas, right? I'd love to know.
All right, Jeff Pacito says he's gonna cosplay for us. There you go. It's gonna be a Jeff cosplay.
But yeah, we'll definitely see what we can do for the upcoming months for Patreon promos. But I do have to order them soon to make sure they get in on time. So give me suggestions. Yeah, and then the other thing we've got here is Joey back in the fan server.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I
that's
saw a huge explosion.
Yeah.
In the Discord.
You tell us, Will, what happened?
Yes.
He came in, and everyone was like, "Oh!"
People were just getting booted left, right, and center. He
Yeah.
was like kicking, taking names, basically saying, "This is my show now. Get out of here." Really, just like firm, setting the tone, and we're all sitting in our chairs, hands ready to go. No, he just came in and there was an announcement made. I think one of the mods made a nice announcement, and yeah, he's got his own little coloring on the side, HCG staff, and
Nice.
he's there to be a liaison, I guess.
Yeah, liaison works.
So lay down the
There was
Just-
a
I
promo
just-
suggestion, but I think it was a little biased. Somebody from Heathertail Gaming said the Stevo Necrolich Chibi. That's a promo.
Steve would love to have that as an actual playable card.
Sounds like a future store promo.
Yeah, so like I'm happy that people are excited. I did hear that like as a whole the moderators were really hoping to get someone from Haunted Castle back into that server. So I mean, that's great. I'm happy.
I mean, I just, from what I've seen, like at least in the last week, right? Like he's got such a positive energy to him, that, and just having someone that can back things up or can speak with, authority, because everyone in the fan server is the fans for a long time, and they may be, they may know information, but they're still adjacent from the actual company, right? Mm-hmm. So there's only so much as longtime fans we can say that's believable or that has some sort of weight to it. But having someone from HCG there who has a direct, right? It also helps, I think, taking information from fans, because sometimes they can be emotional or it could be sparked by, controversy, or it can be sparked by their own perceptions. Taking that information, channeling it through somebody, and then passing it on, right? Can really distill what's important. Because, there could be like a long rant, and then it could just be, well, they don't want to see this happen or whatever, right? So like, it's nice to have someone channeling that information through, right? As in my perspective. So. Yeah.
I think what we were really missing before, and part of the reason things kind of just went the way they did, was we didn't have someone who was on our side whose main focus beyond everything else was the community engagement and the community outreach, right?
Right.
Like we were all doing it in different parts, but no one was dedicated towards that. So having someone in on the Haunted Castle gaming side who is dedicated towards, hey, we just want you to engage with the product. We just want you to play the game. And that's basically his whole sole focus. I think it makes sense with him coming back to the server. So what are some things that you're hoping to get out of this now that he's there? Well,
for me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I maybe just the occasional nugget of spoiler or drop of information or something like that. But even just when like someone's coming in and saying, I just got into the game, I want to do this, right? Sometimes there is delay as far as who's responding to that, or right? Be like, or I'll see it and I'll be like, well, I could respond to this, but I really don't actually know the actual logistics for it. So who could I, bounce this off to or ping to, right? So just having someone that I know now is in the server, then I'd be like, yeah, sure. Ask Joey.
Just ask Joey. Yeah. No, that's good. I'm trying to figure out ways that we can now take advantage of the fact that Joey's back into that server. Put more work on his plate.
What's this?
Yeah.
I need holy walls for a weird deck. Weird. Will, Alex, and Assad in a bubble.
I think he's making a joke, but now that he said it, Holy Wall would be a good promo.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
It would be a good Patreon promo.
Yeah, right?
There we go. I figured out one of them.
Definitely thinking about that. Definitely.
Live on TV.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that's a bunch of topics. I guess. Is there any other of the side topics?
There's a side topic. Let me just pull up the side topics. I think we can just go into the big topic.
All right. So, Alex, you lead this.
We have like a transition screen. Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
we need one of those traditional
Big
All right,
topics.
let's bring in our. This is gonna work this time. Will it worked so many times last time? Our special guest, the Pillars.
No.
Nobody's showing up. All right, let's talk about the Pillars.
It's not any better from last week. You didn't practice like I told you to.
Don't worry. I brought it up in an image of the pillar and.
Oh, hey, here we go.
Look.
Hey, we can see that. It worked.
Oh boy.
So a lot of you guys have been waiting, wondering,
On bated breath.
a bated breath, when will my baby Pillars return back to me? Tears rolling down your eyes. You may now read, assumably, what is a pillar on your screen over here.
I took it off the screen for a little bit. It's back on the screen now.
Oh, perfect. This is so well timed. So what we got, Alex? What's the wording on it?
Well, I don't have the picture up, but I will do that.
While on
While
or
on-
adjacent to pillar, anything without electric weakness has electric weakness.
Okay. All right.
So we removed gains,
Removes
Yes.
gains from pillars.
and now has.
Okay. All right.
So, the bigger announcement on top of, showing the electric pillar is the announcement that we will be rating all the other pillars to this wording.
All right.
So,
Okay.
it's fixed then, right? That's what Jeff has just said. This fits then. It's the right way now.
That is the way it was in. I think that's the way it was originally intended and
yes.
taught.
So,
Yeah.
The thing is, intentions and reality is, we got to separate those two things, right?
For sure.
So, yes, the intention of the card originally was that as long as you were on it or adjacent to it, you got the weakness, but the moment you departed, you lost that weakness.
You lost the weakness. Right?
That was the intention. That the reality is it was the way it is written and needs the errata. The important thing is, at the end of the day, and this is a big thing that I learned throughout this entire process, is that it doesn't matter what, until an errata is made official on the website, the thing we need to adhere to is the actual rules of the game, and the golden rule is the thing that matters the most. So I know it's been, how long has it been? It's been like over a month since we first started talking about this?
Probably been about 2 months now.
Yeah. When we first started talking about it, and I made the conversation in the live stream, it was the whole idea that the golden rule supersedes anything I say, right? The rule book should supersede anything I say until there's an official errata. And now we're going to be pushing that out. So, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's, as I've said on a couple times in a couple different conversations, that regardless of the decision made, I know that the player base that I play with and the team that I work with more often, or most often, I should say, we were going to adjust however we needed to, depending on whatever the decision was. But what we truly felt at the base game when we were playing and sitting down, and we were doing it on turn 1, and there was no response, there was nothing you could do. It just took a lot of the some of the intensity came out, because it's like, okay, well, now everything beyond this is just going to be additional value. And it wasn't until, like, I think I was actually facing Steve-O in a match where we decided to actually try it as the originally intended, and we both happened to have pillar decks that day. It was like, okay, I'm playing a pillar deck, he was playing a pillar deck. Okay, well, let's try it the way that we had done it in Future League and everything. And that game was so close and so unique, because we had to move around these pillars, because everything was still pillar based, but they could capitalize based on our position. So we were moving around the pillars, we're playing, defensively, there's a lot of tactics, and it was a really fun game. That's when it sort of clicked to me. That was like, this is where the pillars really shine, is when it's that level, where it's that understanding, where it is something you're avoiding, it is something that you're capitalizing on in the moment.
Yeah. So I want to come back to it in a sec, but asked in the chat, really great question, what is the golden rule? So the golden rule of TCGs, almost every TCG I know has this rule, which is the text on a card supersedes any text within the rule book. So the whatever's written on the card, that is the source of truth over whatever's written in the rule book. So that aside, I like that. I like what you're saying there. I get it. Like, that was the intention of the game as a whole, is that everything should be this, not just a question of can you play it, but it's about how you play it, right? This was part of the reason why I was so proud in the early days of Alpha, where it's like one of the most played and most valuable cards in Alpha, especially when print runs were so little, was Hunting Hound. It was a card that, because you could get a decent amount of them, they were easily playable by any champion. They were a very valuable card. They were actually one of the cards that, there were only 2 stores that sold singles at that time, but both of the stores were completely sold out of Hunting Hounds before anything else, because they were just so valuable. Where almost any other game I can think of, the idea of having a base creature whose cost is on par for its size, be such a meta-relevant card, it's not something you see a lot, and it's the way Genesis is designed, that it's how you use the card, which is just as important as getting the cards you need. So, let me see.
There was a question of whether it was around or adjacent, confirming that it was adjacent. There was a happy BBD, Steve-O, I assume it's birthday.
Yeah.
Or birthday day.
Belated birthday. I think it was yesterday.
Belated birthday, yeah. Clearly this pillar change was a present for Steve-O for his birthday from Haunted Castle game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And we see the pillar image again.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, Alex, here you go.
Sid brings it back up, and it's a cake, and the pillars are candles.
Alex, do your thing. And
here it is.
It's already here.
It's a bit. It's gonna stick now.
It's like your beginning bit where you have to say hi, champions.
Hey, champion.
We don't do this. We lose viewers. They are expecting this of us now. Just like Will and the Wheel. Like, the wheel. Will's got to do the wheel.
I always try to do something so that whatever image gets captured for the screenshot, I'm in mid something, but it never works.
So going back to kind of the gameplay that you were talking about, the idea that, so you had this match where the pillars. So my big thing, one of the big things I enjoy as kind of a takeaway from this, is that pillars were a very underrepresented card in the past. I think going back, reverting them to the intended design, I don't know if we're going to see a lot more play with it, but I think some people who were ignoring them before might have a chance to start looking at them again. which would be it'll be good. I like to see people play with the pillars. I like them. Air Pillar is still one of my favorite artworks.
Yeah, I definitely brought a lot of the what could we do with this now that it's doing this different thing, right? And a lot of decks you could easily slot it in, and all of a sudden, oh wow, this starts doing this, that starts doing this. I don't think those decks go away because they are fun decks to play. I just think it's when there's a incentive on the line, it won't be that. It may not show up then because the way that with the permanency, it was very much, well, if I get my pillar, then my chances of winning became drastically increased in one way or the other. Either because I'm going to drop my pillar, teleport in, and then just hit you for excessive amounts of damage, or it's all my summons are going to slowly whittle you down each time with an extra point, which puts you on a faster clock. I think the pillar decks, at least from my perspective, I think I'll still have. There's a couple pillar decks that I built, and they're just fun decks to play. Like I think, outside of having my Raha deck direct from the starter kit that I kept and maintained for when I'm playing people brand new, and then my next step up would be probably a pillar deck for that next level of interaction of who I'm playing with, right? Before dropping Blitz and Angels and all the other stuff.
Yeah. What are you thinking there, Alex? It seems like you got something on your mind.
No, just birthday cake on the mind.
And cake, right? Once Alex is gone. Cake?
Yeah. This also gave us an opportunity to observe how the game would look like with other rule sets. Because the cool thing about this compared to Future League was because the change happened in organized play that's occurring right now, it mattered a lot more to people. People started paying attention, talking about it, wanting to test it out, see how far they can push it. And we got a lot more information out of this than we have if we were to just throw this up into Future League.
Right. Interesting.
So there was an opportunity to get kind of the gameplay reaction and see how certain champions changed. Like one of the things I saw was, yes, there was this frustration that Idris with the permanent fire branding, Idris is now slinging 3 damage fireballs. But at the same time, despite how powerful Idris is, she still has struggled to find her way up to top tier meta play, at least in the tournaments I've seen, right? So I don't know. I would love to find a way to get Idris to be more meta relevant against Kun and Nubia, and have this should up there a little bit more. Am I crazy?
One day, Odara will do it. We gotta put our faith in her. She'll get there.
Everything comes back to Odara.
Morning, Kev.
Like, it makes me think, are there other champions, like, would some changes similar to this have made other champions more meta relevant?
Yeah, of course. No matter what, changes will make things more relevant, right?
It's just shifting that structure, right? Like, one of the reasons why Nubia is always seen as always percolates up to the top tier is because of her consistency. The fact that she can do what she does every single time. The pillars giving permanent branding gave your deck a strategy that it could do consistently every single game. And that's part of the reason why that Idris deck became, the Idris Fire deck became a little bit more interesting for me when it came to just watching it and watching competitive play happen, right? I don't know. It's just something that comes to my mind.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, we got 4 minutes. We will go to one of our stall side topics. We'll make it quick. How come we haven't got a restart in Geo yet?
Well, that was also one of the announcements. We forgot to mention the 100 stores and signed up for Geo or whatever, or in Geo.
Part of it is like it's a feature that we do have, but part of the reason why we haven't done it is because we don't have a strategy and a schedule behind it. It would just be a random reset without any guideline or any information behind it. And then the other part to me is like right now, if we got new players who are trying to get into the game and want to see, are there people playing? You could go to Geo, check the leaderboard. There's some numbers there, and they're decently high numbers. And it's like, look, there are people playing. I'm worried we do a reset. People come in and they're like, so no one's playing the game.
It's interesting.
I'll put a different issue. What needs to happen when we do a reset is there needs to be a focus point of how you gain points. Most likely, every store would have to have a single day, and that day is the only day you can get points. Because where some stores can host 7 events a week, some can only hold 1. And if you're just free to gain points in a system where it's based on your location, that's flawed too.
I think the whole entire conversation of how points are calculated and what they're used for needs to be elaborated for sure. There are bigger things to think about, because I also think it's what if you got someone who could travel to multiple different stores on multiple different days, and then you still have the same issue, right?
Yeah, sorry, I agree with Ben. Ben just said, so two sort of point system. You have your all-time total point score, and then you have your Geo score, which is a special event.
Yeah, I think that there needs to be different kind of calculations. I think one of them should be the score you get in the tournament, your total sum scores divided by the number of tournaments you run to get you enter to give you an average of how you rank. That's one of the things that I'm thinking about. But at the end of the day, I don't think we have that standardized, or we don't have a direct plan. And because the points also don't impact if you can come to a circuit or if you can come to a championship, it's a little bit agnostic. It's not the end of the world if they don't get reset just yet.
It's still a beta product, right? It's still in testing. We're still being changed. I think there's just, there was information that was either passed down or heard or picked up or whatever.
There was a statement a long time ago that we were going to reset it when it hit January.
Yeah.
Okay. So and people who are looking at that or using the system constantly they hold on and pick up on that information, right? So if things are said or people have conversations, those conversations tend to stick longer than just sort of announcements posted on a message board or whatever, right? Someone could say, well, they talked about this on Discord, 3 weeks ago. It's I don't remember any of that. I probably read all of it, probably had my own opinions about what they said, but I don't remember it. But if I'm having a conversation on this day, we're going to have a meeting, and then 3 months go by and that day shows up and they're not there. It's well, that was really important to me because I remember hearing that and I made sure to make that date saved, right? And then that didn't happen or whatever, right? And it's just so if someone's playing Geo and they want to see that reset and they're expecting the reset and the reset doesn't happen, it's well, what's going on, right? It's it's just you almost need a Joey for Geo.
I think that's one of the things is Geo and organized play as a whole, just going through this beta phase of orchestrating it, it's taking a lot longer than I had anticipated, because there are it's one thing when we're just hosting it with 1 or 2 local game stores that we're comfortable with and we're seeing regularly.
Right.
But right now in Geo regularly there's about 6 stores that are hosting events. One of them in Germany, and then this makes coordination and conversations with them. It's still something we have to work out, kind of fine tune. So
yeah, but that's what this time period is for, right? So basically, I guess we can assume that geo stats and geo win percentages and stuff like that don't affect any of the circuiting or circuits that are happening this year.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's still just more in the testing phase. It continues on, but at some point, that is the goal, right? That geo will present some sort of local level that gets you to some sort of regional or something, or is it not?
I'm not gonna say it.
They can't say
one way or the other,
which is fair, right? It's like you mentioned, it's still in flux and still changing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to see happen. It just comes down to like getting ourselves organized and getting everything kind of in the right places to do it all. So,
but there is someone who works on geo though.
Yes.
Like if we message, I think on geo there's like a contact or like a troubleshooting or something. So if people have concerns, they should put them through that system, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because that then gets flagged by whoever is doing that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a chat box and then there's also a contact us. So both of those you can use either or section, and you can send a message. So I've had people message me being like, "When is Geo being fixed?" I don't know what fixed means. Can you be a little bit more specific? And if you're finding bugs with Geo, let us know. This is the time to get that going, because before the points actually start counting towards something like invitationals or some other bigger event, we want to have all those bugs worked out, right?
Okay.
So yeah, if you see anything, just let us know. James asks, are we going to be signing things at Origins, the convention?
You can get all of Will's signatures.
What? Mine?
You want?
Why mine?
Just get Will to sign all of that one card he designed. Just get him to sign those. All right. I think that's all of our topics for this week.
That's true.
We got through it. It's
for
8
now.
o'clock. Thank you everyone for joining us. I'll be putting the erratas up onto the website soon, so those can go in effect as soon as possible. And then, I think that's it.
That's one.
All right, I'm going to throw the closing screen up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.